No one loves the archives, the News 8 archives, more than you. And in your searching, your journey through the archives, you found a gem. And it had to do with the inner loop, but more importantly, it was what was before the inner loop.
For more than half a century, this film sat untouched in the News 8 archives.
It was a beautiful piece of film, and so I wanted to know more. It took 3 months, and we discovered, through a lot of careful digging, that this was film of a neighborhood that had been completely razed 7 years later to make way for more development, more urban planning, more of the inner loop on the eastern edge of downtown. We had to tell the story. It was just time to tell the story.
The next piece that's memorable to you is interesting because in a way it was just a day of peace.
It was the closing of the Champion Products Company down in Perry. We couldn't get onto the plant property, and people were just down. And I looked around, and on that particular day, it was cold, it was relentlessly gray, there was snow on the ground, and it was raining. And I thought to myself as I was sitting in the news car, it's so gloomy out. And I decided to use that in the story. But on a gloomy Thursday afternoon, and I remembered this all these years later, just looking at the title of the story and thinking, this is why I love writing, particularly writing for television news, because the power of a good story isn't just in the words, it's in the pictures. And somehow when you can combine those together, it just makes all the difference in the world.
One of the most powerful stories that you've ever told is your own. It's your family's.
Yeah.
And I remember this one like it was yesterday.
Dad, look over here.
2016, my dad died of Alzheimer's disease, and it had been a several years journey. And a couple of months afterward, I decided to do a story about the sacrifice my dad had made and other families here at Rochester had made to research. My dad donated his brain to science. So I wanted to tell the story of how that happened, how it worked, the local research study that my father had participated in hopes that a cure would somehow be found one day for Alzheimer's disease. And it was great to be able to show people my dad's pictures and reunite with the doctors who cared for him. And you let people know about the incredible work that's being done right here at home to advance the cause of a cure for Alzheimer's and effective and efficient treatment for all the patients. So many families locally impacted by this, but I'll tell you, I felt really blessed to be able to tell that story. It was a really healing moment for me.